Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Godplane, Episode 7, The Nightmare's Embrace. Chat, please let me know if volumes need to be adjusted. I am having a difficult time sourcing that out today. I think we're okay, but the music might be a little loud. Please let me know. Thank you also for the hype trains. You all are wonderful. Bo, Phineas, Dylan, Bastion. You stand inside a mist tunnel, freshly rested and having just leveled up. The mists around you are agitated and restless. Swirls of pink dominating patches of gray before fading back into the walls. Vessal is in the process of opening the mist portal and stepping through, giving you all one last moment together before you face whatever comes next. Is there anything you would like to do or say before you step through?
Bastion turns around to look at the others and says, I know we haven't really known each other for very long, but as I've said before, though we're in absolute peril at this point, I don't think I'd change this experience or exchange it for anything. You, all of you, mean the world to me, as strange as that sounds.
I know that it hasn't been very long, but when you go through something with someone, it elevates your experience. It makes everything much more impactful, and you all are... I once called you friends. I realize now you're more like family. I don't have anyone else in the world, but that doesn't diminish how important all of you are, and I think we've got this. There's a new way I've been feeling. There's a sense of power I don't think I've ever had before. And I think it comes from each of you, a little piece. And I'm so thankful. I just hope that it proves useful in battle.
You all are perhaps the first people I've met in a while who now know the real me. Haven't hated me for it or tried to kill me. And while I am nowhere near as confident about our chances as Bo is, for now, I can't think of anyone else who I'd rather at least die along with. But hopefully, live along with.
Dylan looks a little uncomfortable. Look, we're saying this like this is like a goodbye or something. And I say fuck that, let's do this.
We were going for a dramatic moment here, Dylan. Okay, I'm just...
Look, this is a dramatic moment. Look around us. But I don't plan on dying today.
That's the spirit, Dylan. Everyone listen to Dylan. I know what I said before. But today, everyone listen to Dylan, because...
Wait, what?
You're right. You're right. You're right. And Dylan, I know what I said about family. Please, try not to take offense. I know we're going to be up against perhaps someone of your kin. But just know it's not the only family you have. And Bo, like I put my big, minotaur mitt out and, tentatively, hold it above Dylan's shoulder, looking, waiting for them to be like, yes, before I
Yeah,
Put it
they
down. Okay.
kind of nod and still just
Yeah.
look awkward about it, but accept it.
Like I'm still like far away. Like I'm using my full reach because I feel like a hug would probably be a little too much. So I'm like to you, and I like squeeze a little bit,
Like we were
and I go up to Phineas, and I don't give you an option. I just pull you in for a hug, a real giant one. Yeah, and then Bastion, I make my way over to you, and having slept an entire night for the first time ever, not by myself, like it was very special to Bo, and I reach out my hand to you and ask for yours, and just kind of look at you for a moment. Thank you for the kindness you showed me. I know I was very distrusting when we met, and I shouldn't have judged. Me, of all people, I should know what happened to me in my time of need, what probably happened to you, what I've seen happen to you, what you've been through. You've been a most precious friend, and I need us to get through this together.
Bastion squeezes your hand with theirs and says, "We're going to make it through this. I've been through countless battles before. This one seems to be the most daunting. But even though I've had literal armies at my back before, I don't think I felt more confident in our success than I have now with all of you."
I think Bo would probably pull you into a hug. I'll give you a big hug and a kiss on the cheek that lingers a little bit.
There's a huge blush all over Bastion's face. They kind of back up. They're like, well, that's... I'm ready. I'm gonna just go cast some spells. Be right back. And Bastion just kind of walks away a little bit awkwardly and starts preparedly casting mage armor. Again, you see there the kind of purplish armor that goes over them, the translucent armor, is a bit more well fitted this time, as they're slowly getting used to their spells.
Yeah, Phineas is also kind of muttering to themselves, and they're telling another tale from beyond, and this is on the die number 7, the tale of the beguiler. And you notice how, not so strangely, Phineas themselves actually seems to have a chief role in this tale, and it's mostly fluff, it's mostly lies, it's mostly nonsense, but they say it in a very measured and encouraging tone, so it's probably as much for them as it is for all of you, just to feel comfortable before what's going to happen. And yeah, this is a fun one. So when I use it, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take psychic damage. And the target is incapacitated. What? Okay, so this will be fun to use later on. Might need that. Just gonna put that in my pocket.
And Phineas, as you finish this tale, you feel a slight vibration in your pocket as it seems that compass wants your attention one last time.
I guess we'll pull it out and see what, if anything, it reads.
So as before, you see that very chonky pink needle pointing directly to where Vessal is standing in the mist. But there's one more bright blue, teal blue arrow pointing. And it seems there is one last gift from Twitch chat waiting for you all.
Well, it's nice to know at least something out here among this odd, strange place we've come to wants us to succeed. and Phineas will kind of go to the direction of wherever it is, and finding what they expect to find there, just kind of holds it out and says, "So, who wants to open it this time?"
Dylan?
I think I have all the help I need, and I just look around at the pink mist everywhere.
Bo?
You can see Bo's kind of like lost in her thoughts.
The box.
Oh.
Why not?
Okay. Bo kind of like steps up, squares her shoulders, and reaches in.
As you open the box, again you hear, "Good luck, are we gonna get aftercare for this drama? We're so excited." And the whispers of Twitch chat come over you. And inside, you do not find another magical item, but what you do find are 2 more potions. These misty bottles. One is a greater healing shard, and one is a regular healing shard, which is 1d4. The greater healing is 1d4 plus 4, and the regular healing shard is 2d4 plus 2 healing, and you can use these as a bonus action. And you're here.
Oh.
Are you coming? As Vessal opens the portal, and through it you see darkness and crackling red lightning.
Oh. That looks less friendly than I think I was expecting.
It'll be okay, Bo.
Dylan is already walking towards it.
You were expecting friendly, and Phineas follows Dylan.
If only for Dylan.
Bastion will extend a hand to Bo, saying, "It's all right."
Don't think I'm scared. Just worried, but it's easier with you here.
It's easier with you here as well.
I step through.
I follow.
And as, one by one, you step through into this space, I will say welcome to the Godplane. Episode 7, The Nightmare's Embrace. This is an original 5e horror campaign, and I am your humble dungeon master, Kay Purcell. Before we proceed, I want to warn you about the content of this adventure. Godplane is a horror campaign, and that means there are going to be some elements which some folks find disturbing. There might also be sirens. Sirens are sometimes a byproduct of horror, apparently. I've worked with this awesome cast. They have signed up for this. I know their lines and veils, and we can nope out if we need to. That said, I don't know your lines and veils, and if you need to nope out, please do so and approach the stream with caution. Take breaks if you need to. With that, let's meet the cast. Please, let's go around, introduce yourself, tell us your pronouns, where we can find you, and who you're playing. As always, Candace, please kick us off.
Hi, my name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she. You can find me here playing Bo Asterius, your resident Minotaur fighter, pronoun she, her.
Piper.
Hi everyone, I'm Piper. You can find me on Twitch at Matihi. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie Matihi. And I play currently Bastion, formerly known as the Tiny Doll Peppa. Bastion uses any pronouns. I use they, he pronouns. So very excited to die.
T and Keiko Death. Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian, aka Urban Bohemian everywhere. My pronouns are he, they. I'm playing Phineas, a changeling bard whose pronouns are they, them, or as is shape appropriate.
And last but certainly not least, Dylan.
I am Kerri at Kerri Smith 2012 on Twitter, and I am playing the half-demon sorcerer, Dylan. I use she, her pronouns. Dylan uses they, she pronouns.
And we'd like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realm. You can go get Kent, played by our very own. I'm sorry, you can get Virgil.
You can also get Kent.
You can get both. But one of our very own players has his character in Idle Champs of the Forgotten Realm. Please go check out. You can use ! code in chat to get a code to redeem for a chest to help you survive those fights as well. Thank you to Bardley.io for the background music and to Ghost Stories Incorporated for the spooky theme that you're hearing right now. I'd also like to thank Cozy Spoon for the art. Elvoril? Am I saying that correctly, Piper?
Alorviel. Yes.
Alorviel for Bastion's art, which, and to Jason Wooldridge for the graphic design and so quickly incorporating Bastion's new art into all of our overlays. Also, thank you to our mods, Emily, Jason, Kato, David. As I said before, I'm your humble Dungeon Master, Kay Purcell. I am shocked by the level of hype train. Thank you all so much for joining us for this penultimate episode. It's going to be a ride. That's my goal, at least, to make it a ride. You can find me at KDamFear, and my pronouns are she, they. You cannot see David on this call, but David is hanging out in chat and doing all sorts of behind-the-scene mod things. He is at Full Rubber Ducky in chat, and he co-writes and co-DMs this with me. I couldn't do it without him, so thank you. If you would like to help these folks out, we did just unlock a mist cache. We appreciate. You can also will be very useful tonight. There are dream shards that you all can redeem for channel points. If you use those, you'll be able to give a player of your choice a +1 to any d20 roll. They're probably gonna want it. We also have a Ko-fi link if you would like to donate there, and the proceeds go to our incredible performers. And yeah, I think that's it. So we're gonna get into whatever is next.
You sure you don't have anything else? You sure you don't have just...
Do you want to just chit chat? How are you doing
Yeah,
today?
let's just talk.
Kerri, how's your... Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll chit chat while you all watch. And we're back. You four emerge into near complete darkness. You step, and immediately you feel pain shooting up your legs. You each take 3 points of piercing damage as teeth, slimy, caustic, and needle sharp, sink into your ankles, your feet. Before you, filling almost the entire plane, is an angry, swirling, pink-black storm. Red lightning crackles in the darkness, illuminating a huge, roiling mass of energy, boiling about, larger than the sky. As the lightning fades, you hear, not with your ears, but with your mind. Vessal rushes forward, springing into action as you all are still collecting yourself in this space. You recognize her familiar battle cry as it cries itself through the laughter booming in your brain. She rages, and the exposed tattoo on her face and body explode into brilliant blue and white light. She raises her hand just as a bolt of red lightning crashes at her, and it slams into a blue dome of energy just beyond her hand. The dome shatters under the impact, but it does push back the darkness just a little. It's only then that you realize that the ground that you stand upon and the walls around you and this low sky overhead are covered in what looks like an oozing black sea of oil, occasionally punctuated with snapping maws and sharp, gnashing teeth. Misty, dark mantles, supplicants of the nightmare, congregate in an ocean of malice and dark hunger. They form the ground below you, the walls around you, the sky above. And then the voice swells in your mind, filling your ears and your thoughts. You can taste the dark, damp, ominous words on your tongue. Vessal, my old friend. Vassal's battle cry dissolves into half a chant as her eyes narrow with focus, her hand painting holy symbols in the air. As her words form, bands of bluish-white energy form and spread, and then snap around the nightmare. The black and pink storm clouds shudder and resist, and then shrink and shrink, till it no longer dominates everything before you. It shrinks away from the bands, condensing and curling, forming a raging hurricane. The bands of energy clash against this crimson lightning, but they seem to hold for now. The nightmare, for the moment, is bound. And I need you all to roll initiative. And for the sake of my sanity, I am going to request the rolls from you as we go. Bastian, you will be first, please.
19.
19. Bo?
22.
22. Dylan?
15.
15. And Phineas?
17.
17. Alrighty. You all prepare for battle. Your mage armor is up, your weapons are drawn. The space is only about 60 feet in all directions. And the nightmare dominates easily 20 of it, roiling and curling at the back edge of it. You realize these strange dark mantles, these manta ray type things that are moving so thickly beneath your feet that they form a surface even as they're moving, are the servants of the nightmare, and they are going to make all of your movements difficult. Though you do watch as Vessal continues to chant, focused on holding these bands around the nightmare. The space within 20 feet around her is still. Vessal has charged forward, so she stands about 20 feet before the nightmare. You all are, hold on, I can math, 20, 40, yeah, you're all about 20 feet behind Vessal. Mathing is a thing now that I have said this. And Vessal prepares something, but before she takes action, Dylan, you feel the nightmare's gazeless attention settle upon you.
My child, I am so glad you've come to me at last.
Vessal, you realize, is going to have to hold this binding. And the nightmare is going to be fighting it. You all will be fighting the nightmare. But you're also aware that if these binds break, you are going to be in trouble. Anyone can do a wisdom or an arcana roll to help Vessal hold this binding, should you wish to use your turn in that way. That will be an action. You would still have a bonus action. So Vessal holds... do I have her on? I have Vessal on. Vessal holds the binding. I have Vessal on the overlay. Folks playing can't see the overlay. Vessal is holding these bindings, and as she mutters under her breath, you watch her explode with dream magic as she rages. You're gonna love this, Kerri. You all are under the effects of the haste spell for the next 10 rounds. Or until Vessal changes her rage.
Full time to rethink my turn.
What haste does against you?
The nightmare is immediately going to use its reaction, or its lair action, to defy the dreaming god. It is going to attempt a roll to resist this. And with a natural 20, you watch these binds start to break, but hold. For its action, then. Oh, nope. For its action. It is going to cast Mind Sliver on Bo. Bo, I'm going to need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Fighting dirty right out the gate. I see.
Just saying. Just saying.
14.
14. No, I put all this...
Was that a legendary?
No, this is its action. That's a spell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I see the thought. Okay. Unfortunately, though, I'm sorry, that's not enough.
Wait. Is a 15 enough?
Yes.
I'm gonna use one of my points, my plus ones. Yeah. All right.
Yes. All right. So you watch as this roiling mass of energy and lightning goes, and you feel something pressing into your mind. And you push it away. And you refuse to give in. And you just hear. And Bo, it's your turn.
Is there anything I can see that's corporeal that I can like attack physically?
With the nightmare bound,
Yeah.
you can hit it. If those
Ooh.
binds break, that is a different.
I can't break the binds with my actual physical stuff. It has to break the bounds of like of the spell itself.
The Vessal is binding it with a spell, and
Okay.
that is basically. Sorry, I didn't explain this well. It was huge and formless and just roiling mist, and Vessal cast this binding magic, which caused all of her tattoos to glow, but this one on her face to ooze darkness, and these blue-white, the same color as that happy misty needle, closed around the nightmare and pushed it down into a 20-foot, not quite corporeal, but entity that you can attack. You will not break the bounds. The bounds are being held by Vessal for you all. But you have to try and defeat it before it breaks these binds.
Okay. So Bo looks over. I look over at Vessal, and recognizing that I can use like Arcana or something else to kind of assist her with binding this, I realize that weakening this thing is probably in my best interest, so I don't hurt and not help.
You look at Vessal and see what she's doing, and she looks at you and meets your eyes and nods, and then tosses her head towards the nightmare.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the dash action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving 20 feet, which means I can do Goring Rush. I'm going to take a melee attack with my horns as a bonus action right after. And then with haste,
Brilliant.
I can do an additional attack, yes?
Yes.
All right. That's what we're doing.
So you are 40 feet back, and 20 of that is difficult terrain, but you're taking a dash action. I'm not going to punish you for it. Do it.
I've got a dirty 20 to the Goring Rush.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay. And then my follow-up, I go back with both hands of my Warhammer, and I strike, and that's a 15.
15 does not hit, but the Goring Rush does.
All right. So, that's 1d6. That is 6 points of damage.
6 points. You bring your horns up and into this mist, and you watch it kind of catch and stretch and break away, like a little piece of it snaps off before it kind of evaporates. You know you've done damage to it. As you do that, is that your turn? Anything else you have to do?
No. I think I'm good for now. I just kind of look back at everybody, and I hold my stance. Everyone who's looking, you can see usually Bo kind of enters combat a little nervous and a little afraid, but Bo is standing wide-legged, shoulders squared, leaning forward, weapon in hand, shield on back, ready to fucking go, Thor style, ready to fucking knock this thing out. And I look over my shoulder at the others. And I kind of just like give them a reassuring glance before turning my attention back to this creature.
And as you end your turn, you hear the nightmare.
You seek to betray me after freeing me so long ago.
And it's going to, as a legendary action, use the nightmare's reach. And behind you, Phineas, you watch as this tentacle of pink-black mist rises. And it's going to take a smack at you.
Okay, but it's kind of like a Chanel tentacle, so I'm kind of okay with it, but not really.
It is kind of a Chanel,
That
like
pink and black, like oh, okay.
Yeah, like
This is gonna hurt.
comes up-
I'm making jokes because I'm about to get hurt, y'all. Like
it comes up and it kind of like comes back and it goes, but it's only an 8 to hit, so I think you're okay.
oh my gosh, I actually get to say that doesn't hit for once in my life playing a bard.
So yeah, it misses, but it kind of just hangs out. It's still there, right behind you all. Bastion.
Bastion takes a step forward and question. To maintain kind of the binds, is it an action and then a check to do so?
It is an action, and you will basically allow Vessal to roll with advantage to bring them down. Yes.
As I am now a spellcaster, I don't really have any weapons. I will use one of my actions to help maintain the bind.
Okay.
As you see, these puffs of purple smoke just start to appear and kind of encircle the nightmare as well, kind of aiding. They're much thinner than Vassal's.
Mm-hmm.
You then see Bastion takes a book that's kind of on their hip, much different than, of course, the one that Dylan carries, many. You see, of course, this one is almost ethereal, again, made out of the purple energy, and they kind of bring it forward, and as they do it, you see it almost kind of floats in front of them, and as they are a tome warlock, they are going to cast as a bonus action Hex.
Okay.
As you kind of hear like this start to form around the nightmare, as just the energy they're channeling from Lancelot begins to infuse and curse the nightmare.
Just
they are
for a
then
moment, on the very edges of the nightmare, you swear you see little purple cat ears just kind of peeking up from behind.
Perfect. And that was a bonus action, casting Hex at level 4. As a cantrip, which is not a bonus action, you see they kind of hunch over a little bit. Their like arms a little bit more gangly, as they're not really sure how to stand as a spellcaster. And they kind of clap their hands together, and you hear this almost ringing. And various kind of spirit entities of past combatants, past champions that Vessal has summoned begin to kind of swarm in on the nightmare, as I will cast Toll Dead.
Yes.
They have to make they must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, please. I will also say for Hex, they will take a disadvantage on all strength checks.
All strength? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a natural 20.
No!
Chop it.
Unfortunately, the spirits are not able to penetrate the whirling mists of the nightmare, but it is still hexed. And that is all for Bastion.
Right. Phineas.
Wow. I'm also trying to figure out, like, wait, what kind of hex, and then this, and then there's so many things hasted. Sorry. Haste, not hex. Hex is freaking awesome. Okay. How close did Bo? Actually, wait a second. How close did Bo get?
Oh, is
Bo
right
kinda
up on
like-
it.
All right. Um. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Phineas is gonna kind of point, and you said the nightmare takes up about 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does it have what appears to be like features or a head, or just is it just there?
It is incorporeal. Like, you look at this and you're like, and you look at Dylan, and you look at that, and you look at Dylan, and Dylan, like, even you
Wow.
looking at it, you can't. There's some pink. Your mom had pink skin, right? But like that. However, you can definitely feel when its attention is on you. Like, there is a mass and a weight to this. You can feel its presence. You can feel its consciousness, even if it's just this roiling cloud of energy and crackling red lightning.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Phineas will start with what they usually do, which is going to be dissonant whispers.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So that's it's like 5 in action. Then I can use a bonus action to help Vessal. Or wait, does helping Vessal count as like another action?
Helping Vessal is an action. Vessal
Okay.
has already received help.
Oh, that's right.
This one. Also, as a spellcaster, you can do a spell, like a leveled spell, and a cantrip in the same turn.
Perfect. Okay. Then yeah, this is going to be Dissonant Whispers, which is a Wisdom save of DC 14.
Well, that's a natural 1.
What? Well, all right then. It's going to take 15 points. What is that? Yeah, 15 points of psychic damage. And it is what you've normally seen, where even though this place is full of mist, and the mist again, it's almost like it starts shadowing itself, and green mist forms off, and on that, there are just whispers on the wind that are heading towards this amorphous nebulous blob of nightmare, and somehow managing to penetrate it. Let's see. So wait, that's that. And then, just to follow it up, Phineas lets loose an Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
Just to, like, let me see here. I actually have to roll to hit with this? That's rude.
Yeah.
What? That's his magic. I gotta do that. Okay, that's a 23 to hit.
That will also hit.
Okay. So that will be 13 points of force damage.
Excellent.
Um,
And what does your
And yeah.
Eldritch Blast look like?
This one actually weirdly, Phineas kind of leans forward and sorry, I read chat. I shouldn't have read chat. Phineas leans forward and you kind of actually see like his monocle glow for a moment, and it is just like it's like they're staring down, and this crackling coruscant beam of again, this like that sickly green energy just heads straight for whatever this mass is, like zap. That's why we don't get magic sound effects.
It didn't like that.
I wouldn't either, honestly. That's fair. I wouldn't either. And yeah, after all that, Phineas then looks at Bo and says, "I'm not sure where all this unearned confidence has come from." but let's make sure it bolsters just a bit. And that's a bardic inspiration for Bo. You get a D8. And you get a D8. Well, no, actually not yet.
Not yet.
Bo looks back at you, and you see like the look on her face is like she's smiling, but it's like the teardrop emoji face that she's giving you. And she's like gripping her like you can see like there's like pink in her knuckles where she's gripping this weapon.
And unless you're using your movement, it is Dylan's turn.
Oh, hey Mom, I brought friends over. I hope that's okay. And I point to Bo, and Bo, if you allow it, you begin to double in size as I cast
Yeah, I do.
enlarge on Bo.
Oh, chill out. Watch out now. Okay. There'll be no talking to her.
And then
Can you imagine the stuff I could build? I'm sorry.
as Bo is like doubling in size, Dylan smiles, and I'm not sure if anyone has seen that before, but smiling, you see these really sharp canines, just these fangs in their mouth as they smile, and then they just sling an arm towards the nightmare, and I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Yes, please.
Yep, That... it's a dirty 20.
That will
No,
hit.
a 19. Sorry, 19.
Will still hit.
Okay. Cool. That is going to be 12 points of fire damage.
This is not why I brought you here.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. That brings us back to the top of the round. And Vessal, with advantage, is going to fight to secure the bonds. So you watch as she's holding herself. And it's strange because you have really only seen this woman fighting with her axe. Her axe has not materialized. She is holding her hands out and chanting and drawing holy symbols in the air that create this blue-white light and then slowly mist away, and she just keeps replenishing them. And sweat is pouring down her face, and black ichor is oozing from that horrible pink tattoo across her face and her ruined eye. And you watch as some of the cracks in the bond start to seal. As she holds, and the power of the dreaming god keeps the nightmare contained for just a little bit longer. You hear,
I do not have time for this, Vessal.
and Bastian, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Nice. That is a 19.
You feel something necrotic start to creep into your body, and you push it off. And you all physically feel a shudder of rage as the nightmare is unable to sapping sting you.
Sorry, this body is mine.
And Bo, it is your very large turn.
Oh boy. So, like, as Bo is growing, they can, like, feel their emotions kind of growing along with them. And they become less afraid the bigger they get. Now she's, like, fucking ready to go. I look at this creature. How tall is it compared to me now? Like, if I'm twice my size. I'm twice? 2 times? I'm 12. I'm 12'2". So I'm like.
So it's just about 8 feet taller than you still. It's still got some size on you. But
I like step up to it even closer than I already am. And I point my warhammer at it. And I'm like, stay away from my fucking friends. And I like go double-handed and smash it. I have haste, which means I can smash this 3 times. I'm going to smash 3 times.
Yes,
so I'm going to do
please.
3 rolls, and then I'm going to roll all my damage.
And you have a bonus to your damage.
I sure do. Woo! All right. That is 16?
16 does not hit.
Okay.
Bless.
Roll a d4 and add it.
Good catch.
18.
18 hits.
Thank you. That doesn't hit. Wait, can I use 2 dream shards? I'm at a 15 right now.
15 does not hit, but you
Would
can
a
use some,
17
and you
hit?
also have the bless.
Oh, I still have
We'll
bless.
use the
Okay.
bless first.
Yeah. So this at the end of the last episode, for those just joining us, Vessal gave everyone the blessing of the dreaming god. So for 10 minutes, everyone has a d4 to attack rolls. And saving throws.
17.
17 does not hit.
+1 with my shard. Okay. And then one last one. Let's hope that this is better. Oh my goodness. That one doesn't hit, the last one. But the rest of them do. So I'm going to roll my damage twice. I added a d4. That's a 6. And that is a 13.
6 and a 13. Is your weapon a magical one?
I don't think so.
Is it, if you look at it in D&D Beyond, is it green?
No,
Okay.
it isn't.
So, you swing and swing, and you miss your last one, but you feel yourself connecting, and it's strange. This hammer passes through this mass, and it's suddenly like you're moving through water. There is a substance there, and you are harming it, but it's this strange resistance, and it's not hitting as hard, quite as hard as you would like. But you feel it roil with anger.
Stay fucking pissed off. For my bonus action, can I spend a superiority die to give Vessal well, I'll wait. Still early days. I don't want to get crazy. Sorry.
I will also remind you, your choice, you might want to save it. You do also have a bardic inspiration dice for that last roll.
I'm gonna save it.
Cool. Absolutely fair. I don't know what that number was, but I wanted to remind you. Bastion.
Bastion. They're going to use a bonus action, as I do have an Eldritch invocation that allows me to teleport 30 feet when I cast Hex on something. So you see all of a sudden they kind of almost sink into the ground, or the like shifting ground very quickly, and suddenly appear kind of 30 feet like to the west of the Nightmare. And they extend their hand. I'm going to use one of my actions to cast a bonus action or cantrip, and this cantrip is going to be Mind Sliver. So I'd like them to make an intelligence saving throw.
You are not going to like this question. Does a 30 save?
Oh my god!
Excuse me?
Barely. Damn it. I'm not going to cast it. It's going to cast before. Still unable to kind of grasp. I think Bastion's still struggling with their spells or with just their abilities currently, and I'm going to.
You're also used to like throwing
Stabbing.
slivers
Yeah.
of yourself, of your mind, right? And you try to sliver into this thing's mind, and it's a literal dream. It's a terrible nightmare, and it's so difficult to. Not that this thing is hard to hit because it's large, but this is a god, and its mind is vast, and it's so difficult for you with these new powers to sink into.
I think in this case, they don't really have much they can use, unfortunately. They're going to help Vessal then. They'll use their final action to
Wonderful.
grant them advantage. That's it.
Dylan and Phineas, you both stayed rather back, didn't you? And Bastion and Beau are up against the Nightmare themselves. Vessal is kind of between you all. And as a legendary action, the Nightmare is going to cast Circle of Death beneath Phineas and Dylan. I'm trying to find it now.
Uh-oh.
I just don't like the sound of that.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I can deal with Square of Death, not Circle.
But Circle of Death is just so much worse. I'm sorry, y'all. This is a very... I need you both to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear.
That is a natural 20 for a 24 for me.
Nice.
That is a 16.
So you watch as suddenly the manta rays beneath both of you two and Vessal in this huge circle, suddenly you watch as they shimmer pink and then turn completely black. And you feel something pull down on you. You both push it away, but you hear Vessal cry out. As she takes 27 points of necrotic damage. Shakes her head, but holds her focus on the binding spell. Phineas, this tentacle swipes out at you again, and again it just kind of like doesn't do much. Yeah, it's very... It kind of looks a little embarrassed and kind of like curls down.
Yeah, I mean, like, Phineas is not mean to service people, but this does feel excessive. Like, this is the Nightmare's fault. Okay, that's not cool at all. Don't worry, you'll probably get me next time. You won't.
Phineas, it's your turn now.
Let's see here.
Thank you for reminding me, Kerri. Yes, both Phineas and Dylan take half damage. So
Thanks,
you take
Kerri.
13.
Thanks for telling the
Point.
teacher we have homework.
Can you tell I'm
It
with you?
just means I'm gonna do.
Kerri,
I'm
what
gonna
are you doing?
continue to do things like remind you about bardic inspirations and anything that I can keep track of.
What was that, 13?
13, yes.
That's not great.
Now you see why I gave you all so many healing potions. Or, I'm sorry, Twitch chat gave you all so many healing potions. Thank you, Twitch chat. And yes, they are definitely the blackest, most metal mantis.
Awesome. I mean, mood-wise, this is like that awesome rack that you found at the back of the Hot Topic, so I'm here for it. Yeah, Phineas is going to kind of just focus on, like, trying to basically focus on where attention is within this thing. And they're actually, like, they're kind of forming this with their hands because they're going to cast Cloud of Daggers into the mass. And
That's
it's basically,
mean.
yeah, it's a 5-foot cube. Oh, it's just a spell. There's no nothing.
It happens.
So yeah, Phineas like takes their monocle down and smashes it, and takes one of the slivers of glass, flings it forward, then pockets that one and pulls another monocle out and puts it on, and what you see like the ghostly form of what appear to be a magician and his assistant, and they are literally putting these glowing green daggers into what appears to be a 5-foot box in the middle of this thing. And it's going to take... That's a lot of D4. That's 11 points of damage. It's slashing.
Anything else? You are hasted. You have a tentacle flailing sadly behind you.
Oh, this is so very sad, but Phineas is just going to like reach over their shoulder and fling an Eldritch Blast at this tentacle because I don't this is not good. We don't want any of this.
Roll to hit.
Oh, that is that's an 8, which I am then going to add a D4 to. Okay, that's a 9.
You flick, and the tentacle kind of had curled down, embarrassed.
Ooh,
So it's just a little bit smaller than you thought it would be.
That's fair.
It's kind of flick over the top of it.
And okay, and then based on this, Phineas just looks at Vessal, and you can see Phineas's mouth moving, but none of you can hear what they're saying, and that is again throwing a bardic inspiration towards Vessal, which is
Okay.
another D8.
I have set it aside for reuse. Anything else for you this turn?
I'm trying to remember. Phineas is gonna move forward. Possible. Oh yeah, Phineas is gonna move up to kind of stand behind Vessal. Just
Okay.
yeah.
So you're like kind of like, I got you, buddy, but also like kind of half behind. Like I got you, but also
more
a
like
little bit
I got you from like exactly behind you and down. A
yeah.
little. Yeah.
You're I'm supporting you, and you're a great meat shield. And this tentacle, as you leave its range, lashes out again, and with a natural 2, this dice is going into dice jail.
I just you are trying your best, pal, and I feel you, but I just need to get out of your space. This energy is just not for me.
Just a little wah wah. And Dylan.
Yeah, I would like to just start like rubbing my hands together, thinking about, all those all those camping trips with Dad. And you see this flame just grow in my hand, and I'm going to launch a fireball right directly square in the middle of this creature. So that is a dex save. And it's a 20-foot radius, so I'm assuming I won't hit any of my friends, but if it looks close, I'll just push it back a little bit.
Not a problem. That's a 17.
That succeeds, so that will be half damage.
Okay.
Let me roll my dice. Um, 32, so 16 fire damage, right? That's the right math?
16 fire
Yeah.
damage. Yeah, you watch as you just fling this fireball into this mist, and it kind of like looks like it's going to avoid, and then it hits one of those bindings, and you watch red lightning crackles up to the side, and it's not able to move completely out of the way. And you can feel the roiling parental anger.
Cool, and then I'm gonna cast Chill Touch. Just following right after that, just slamming another one. That one's all just pink energy.
It's on
Slamming
fire and
towards that
ice.
direction. Yeah, exactly. Ooh. That's a 24 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah.
That is 10 points of damage. It is necrotic damage. Do I notice it hurting her?
It sinks in. So Chill Touch is this, if I'm remembering it correctly, because I don't have the spell sheet open, but it's not actually, you can do it at a distance, and the skeletal hand comes out and grabs on, and you watch it grab on, and then just kind of dissipate into the pink mist.
Dylan's just like, yeah, I thought so. And then just kind of stand back up and ready for more. That is their turn.
All right. The top of the round, Vessal is again with advantage, chanting and drawing these symbols, and you watch as sweat is coming down her face, and she's so stressed that sirens are going off around her. And with 2 natural 20s. 2, y'all. Incredible. I think that's a 1 in 400 chance. She focuses, and you watch as the last cracks in this band heal over. And you feel the nightmare seething with frustration. And you watch as mist starts to coalesce and coil in, and then at seemingly the same time, it materializes and lashes out, one at Beau and one at Bastion. Well, the good news is the one on Bastion is a natural 1.
Dodge, bitch.
Bad news is the one on Beau is a natural 20.
Okay, what is up with your dice?
I don't know.
Also, Bastion's body is literally like, no, I just got this, so no.
Right?
Yeah, just like,
This is new.
too hot for this.
Yeah, my dice are doing something so weird tonight.
I got so excited for meets it beats it, but then I was like, meets it.
Oh.
Because I have
Aw.
+2 because of haste.
It's a natural 20.
Nat
That's
20.
before I
It's-
add the modifiers. So, the good news is you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. The bad news is it is going to use a legendary action to cast Lesser Soul Wither as this connects. And it's a 30-foot sphere, so I need both Bastion and Bo to make con saving throws as this thing connects with you, Bo, and then you watch as something dark starts emanating in a sphere. You are muted? You are very muted. You are essentially double muted. All of the muting.
I get to add my bless to this still?
You do.
Alright. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, what's the saving throw?
Con.
Fudge. Okay.
14.
I'm going to use my bless, so I'm at a 10 right now because I rolled a 6 and then a 4. I'm also going to use Dark One's Own Luck, which once per short rest I make an ability. If I make an ability check or saving throw, I can use the feature to add a d10 to my roll, which is a 13.
Is that 13 total or 13
13 total.
Okay.
Oh, I do have, I'm going to use 3 shards. Or 3 things. I have a 16 now.
Don't let them intimidate you!
16! I'm scared!
I feel like this is the equivalent of like mashing X. You're like, wait.
So, the rest of you watch as this dark energy comes out and encompasses these two. And you feel something dark latch onto you and start pulling something in your soul down and down. And you take 30 points of necrotic damage. And you lose a stress level.
So we're less stressed? Or
No,
more
you are. I'm
stressed?
sorry. You gain a point of
Okay.
stress.
What does that mean?
So, for you, Bo, you have not taken a level of stress yet. So, for you, it really just means the horror of this place is starting to get to you. And you can decide if Bo would use her wisdom to try and talk herself out of it, in which case, it's kind of like, and you would tell me what this is, but it's almost like you feel like someone's behind you and you have to look, or you feel like there's a ringing in your ears. There's something like psychological that is happening. Or if Bo would use her con and her strength to push through it, in which case you feel like an old war wound is like aching, or you feel like you've just suddenly developed like a limp, like something is starting to affect you, and it's either a mental or a physical that will further develop. Piper, you had already taken 1 level of stress,
Yep, this is my second.
which means with this level, you now have disadvantage on perception checks. As whatever ailment, again, you'll tell me what it is. It's flavor to your character. Whatever ailment has started to take root is getting distracting.
I think with kind of this pulling down of the soul, there's not very much left of Bastion's soul from just how much damage that they've done to it before. And a huge swath is almost carved away. And they stand a bit dumbfounded for a moment. She looks forward at the nightmare. And all she sees currently is kind of interspersed with battlefield going on here is other battlefields that have previously crossed into Bastion's mind. The creatures from the sky, the undead, and all the kind of starts to mash together. And there's just a bubbling of fear and anxiety that begins in Bastion's chest, moving upward into their throat. They kind of, you see them pale even more than they already are, and take a few steps back, staring and starting to feel almost like this hopeless energy flow over them.
Do I get a reaction?
But it is now your turn. That was a legendary action, which does not allow for reactions. You could react to the first hit. The strike you can do a reaction to. The Soul Wither was a legendary action afterwards, but you can absolutely react as this dark sphere is coming out.
So I feel like that's probably more of like a physical kind of thing, because I have they didn't get me, like they didn't hit me with their like lashing thing. I have parry and riposte. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that for like psychic stuff and like tendrils, etc.
Yeah. This is it became corporeal enough to strike you with this. So yes.
Okay. So then yeah, I am going to then parry. I have to use a superiority die, so I will remove one of those from my sheet, but I can get a smack.
Get your smack.
Sorry, I can reduce the amount of damage that I take by the number that I roll on my superiority die.
Okay.
I don't get a smack unless it's riposte, but it got me,
Gotcha.
So I don't get that. Great, 2. No big deal.
Look.
Is this... Oh, sorry.
The only thing that matters is the last hit point. So those 2 hit points.
Oh my god.
This
This
is
is a disaster.
was that like a legend? Was that like a lair or a legendary?
It was its turn, and then it immediately triggered a legendary action. So that is the end of its turn, if you would like to do a thing.
Well, it would have. I lost track of the turn order. At the beginning of its turn, or we can say now, it would have taken another. The daggers, the flying daggers, are still there.
Yes.
So
Roll those d4s.
stay there and get hit. That's another 10 points of of slashing.
And it is bound in place by the Saul's coils. So yeah, it's you see it kind of like writhing and trying to get away, but it is bound. And Bo.
As it kind of lashes at Bo with this like and this dark wave of energy, for a second, like their kind of unwavering like stance and their energy just like drops significantly as they look back over their shoulder and down at their gigantic hooves. I don't think anybody else can see this, but for Bo it manifests as like that priest, but looking like he's made out of like the pink and black mist kind of swirling around, and like he's like I can see him with this pinkness, and he opens his mouth to scream, and like the black, like it looks like black ichor almost, but it's like the mist starts pouring from his mouth as he reaches out to me and latches on to my ankle, and I'm able to kick him free, but I can like feel it still there. Like I can feel his hand clasping me. Try to kind of like make up for the resolve and just rush at it again with my hammer, trying to do as much damage as I can, knowing that I will be of no use to anyone with the binding spell. Okay. 16?
16 does not hit.
But 17 does. No.
But you do have a d4.
I did my d4. I'm going to use my inspiration die. So that will be 21.
That hits.
Okay. So that's going to be my next one. That's a 27.
That hits.
And then I still have haste.
Mm-hmm.
So I go one more time to whack it. That's a 22.
That also hits.
Where was this when I needed a fucking saving throw, though? I'm really nervous. I'm probably going to die, you guys. It's okay. So, do I roll my bless with attacks too?
Not with damage.
No, right? Okay. Cool. So that first one is going to be an 8 points of damage.
8.
The second, 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
And then the third is 12 points of damage.
All right. Once again, you are swinging through, and it's like, and you can feel yourself pushing it. And as your hammer breaks free of this weird, almost gelatin-like thing, you watch as mist pops and kind of puffs away, and you're doing damage, but not as much as you would like.
I have one bonus action of where did it go?
And I'll remind you, you have
Sorry.
all those healing potions that you can use as a bonus action.
Yes. I am going to need it.
Just a friendly reminder.
Can I guess come back around to me. I don't want to stall, but there's something that I want to do with my superiority next turn.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's rally. Sorry. I would like to rally Bastion. So on my turn, I can use a bonus action and expend 1 superiority die to grant a friendly creature who can see or hear me temporary HP equal to the superiority die roll. 6.
Thank you.
Very nice.
And that's it.
Speaking of Bastion, it's your turn.
Bastion, I think, moves back into action after the rally from Bo. Seeing the tides maybe turning for the worst, he's not too sure. But the dynamic kind of changes a bit as I'm going to use a bonus action to appear. Actually, I'm going to move, run. Oh no, it's rough terrain. I think I'm close enough to get beside Bo. At this point, I'm going to spend my bonus action to use the superior healing shard and smash it on Bo. Giving them lots of healing. 8d4, I think, plus 8. Is it? 8d4
Yes.
plus 8. Which will be...
And Bo is currently 12 feet, so you're like smashing this against
On her
Bo's
leg.
thigh. Yeah.
You just... that's going to be 25 HP back to you. As it shatters on your leg and dissipates. They will then look to the nightmare and say, "This is definitely the most terrifying fight that I've ever fought, but probably the one that I'm most confident in. Hopefully." And again, I am going to cast... I'm going to cast Mind Sliver again.
Okay.
So they have to make intelligence saving throw. From that earlier chill touch from Dylan, did I get the vibe that it did not do any damage?
Necrotic doesn't seem to be able to
Good to know.
do much to this creature. It's a 28. Saving throw.
Unfortunately, it saves. Gosh darn it. I think in some frustration, they are going to... I'm right next to Bo. Used an action. Used a bonus action. I'm going to use the rest of my action to use the teleportation and slightly go out of range of Bo to the side. And I think this combat is a large reminder, just kind of what Layla used to be for Bastion, that spellcaster, and in this case, Bastion's spellcaster for Bo. So they are going to ready something but that's the end of their turn.
Okay. Phineas.
Yeah, Phineas isn't really sure if this thing is, like, it's reacting. It seems to not like what we're doing, but it hasn't given any sign of actually, like, being close to giving up, and why would it? It's a nightmare god dream thing. So yeah, Phineas just, like, for just a moment, like, they step back away from Vessal and kind of, they bring their hands to their head, and you can see this energy forming right in the center of their forehead, and it just starts sparkling and glowing, and they're going to cast Ralitham's Psychic Lance. And although having seen what's gone on, it is an intelligence save DC 14, so you know.
Well, that is a nat 1.
I mean, I want to feel sorry, but not right now. So yeah, you see this like this greenish silverish lance of energy just, and it's kind of going very similar to the area where they cast the daggers, and that is going to be a lot of, so satisfying when you hear the digital dice roll. That's going to be 34 points of psychic damage, and they are incapacitated until the start of my next turn.
All right.
Unless they have a way of not being that.
I like conditioned immunities.
Oh, I like that face on the DM. All right. Okay.
Taking away my toys, and I don't like it.
Well, we are your toys, and we're also winning against your toys. So you know, it's like, and you know, just for funsies, probably not, but just for funsies, for a moment, Phineas is going to change their form and readjust their cloak to actually resemble Vessal, and is going to use the tail of the Beguiler. So I need a Wisdom save DC. What is mine? 14.
I am sorry to say it's a 14 on the dice.
Okay. I don't think.
I switched to dice so it's not like 20 and 1 and nothing in between, because, you know, I need to have a talk with those. Those 2 dice are really fun, but not for a big boss battle.
That's okay. Seeing that it didn't really do anything, kind of shifts back to actually shadow Vessal, so it really kind of looks like you're getting like a mirror effect of Vessal.
I like it.
And Bastion ran over to Bo. Dylan's still back there. I just lost my character sheet. Come back. Oh golly, it's awful. But yeah, and Phineas, even in the form of Vessal, looks to Dylan and shouts, I think it's time for you to have a talk with your mother, and you got this. And that's a D8 Bardic Inspiration for Dylan. Don't actually talk, just like kick her ass.
And if that's your turn, Dylan, you are up.
All right. moving their hand almost like fanning a deck of cards in a sense. You see one like red-looking scale just appear in Dylan's hand, point it forward, and claps. And as they clap,
does this have a somatic component? Is that the somatic component of your spell?
The material component?
No, there's hand motion. Somatic is.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Then you do that.
And as Dylan claps, I actually don't know how to pronounce this spell. Agonizer's Scorcher? I don't know if that's how you say it, but
it's how you say it in this dream world.
Great. I need a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 16.
That is a success, so it's half damage, so 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And Dylan's like visibly frustrated that all of these spells are like, ugh, come on.
Is it 15, Dylan? Is it 15? Do you have to beat 15?
It's 14.
It's 13, I think, actually.
Okay, that's too much.
13, yeah. And then Dylan is going to move to stand beside Vessal. I don't think I was that far away. And then I'm just going to use my other action to try to help with the next binding.
So, just so you know, Vessal has completely healed the bands, and the nightmare has not defied the dreaming god, has not broken these scents. So I know haste is not always the best for spellcasters because you can only use so many spells per turn, but if you would like to use that action, you can.
Sure, I'll cast Firebolt.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, cast Firebolt. That's a... Ooh, that's... Nah, that's a 14, and I'm gonna save some of my stuff, so yeah, we're good.
That, and you again, like, flick out, and it doesn't quite work.
Actually, I'm so sorry, that's a lie. I'm blessed, right?
You are.
So that's a 17.
Not quite.
Plus one.
Okay, alright, +1, 18.
Then it hits.
That's 9 points of fire damage.
9 points of fire damage. That is going to bring us back to the top of the round, which means a thing happens for you, Phineas. Your daggers?
Okay, I was like, to me or from me? Because I can do the from me. You have me scared there about the to me.
Good, then I'm doing my job.
Rude. That is 17 points more of slashing damage as they just continue.
That hurts. As that goes back around, you see Vessal is just muttering to herself and painting these ruins in the air and holding things in place. And then you hear,
We need to talk.
and the world around each of you goes black. And that's where we're going to take our break.
No!
What?
That should be
Thank
illegal.
you so much, chat, for hanging out with us. We are going to take a quick break, though I don't know if it's going to be very relaxing. We'll be
No!
back in 10. Thank you so much. Thank you for the dream shards. I know everyone appreciates them. Thank you for the hype train. You all are wonderful. And we will see what we're going to talk about in 10 minutes. And we are back. Our heroes are engaged in a fight with a living nightmare. They have been pouring spells and damage into this thing as Vessal has been holding binds of blue-white energy to keep it locked in place. And as we come to the top of the initiative order, we heard
We need to talk.
And darkness engulfed each of our heroes. Bo, you see, as the darkness suddenly recedes in a misty pink motion, 100 temples, each more beautiful than the last. You see peoples of all races and sizes coming to worship, tears in their eyes at the beauty of your creations. And you see your parents. They live, and you tour the worlds with them, showing them each of your creations, which stand proud and no longer crumple. You watch their faces fill with pride at your work as your father claps you just a little too hard on the back.
I alone can defy the god who so selfishly took your joy. I will give you the life you seek, the one you deserve. Simply stay your hand, and all of this is yours.
I take a moment to steady myself. And my eyes are just brimming with tears. Can I still feel the weight of my hammer?
It's there, but it's distant. It's a
Can I-
memory of a hammer.
And I can't, like, feel the presence of my friends?
Right now, you are in a dream. This is a dream, and I don't want dreams. I want reality.
Your entire life has been a dream. You are a child of the dreaming. And as a child, you hurt a child god. And they have punished you your whole life.
Well, what is this then? Fighting my friends, separating me from the people I love. This is not a punishment?
This is a chance to have the life you deserve. A dream of it, yes, but just as real as the one you lived.
I take, like, a very cautious step forward, like, deeper into this vision that I see before me. Before realizing this is the life that I deserve. I did do something wrong. I've paid for it. And whatever this creature is can't give me back what I've lost. All I can do is find something new to believe in. No. This is not right. I don't trust you. How you treat your own child. You know nothing of love.
You feel a weight of disappointment pressed down upon you. Phineas, you find yourself standing before the Wakefield Manor. It's in flames. Black smoke rises, billowing from windows and doors. as the Wakefields pour out into the night, screaming. With a short thump, 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 3 of them are silenced, as in rapid succession, arrows plunge into their necks. Your form, your true form, moves to stand over that of your brother, a smirk on their lips, as you watch this other you draw and knock another arrow, aiming it, watching as the life leaves Phineas's eyes. Lightning flashes and you're standing in a town. One face in a vast crowd as the Wakefields are paraded one by one down the street. Their hands are bound and their fine clothing is stained and torn. People jeer, throwing rocks and rotten fruit at them. You hear a voice whisper in your ear that you know that if you turn your head, nothing will be there.
I will give you this, the revenge you have lusted for. You can watch them suffer 1,000 times over. You can have every disgrace you could ever wish upon them. You need do nothing more than step back, withhold your magic, and I will give you the freedom to harm them in the way you once gave me freedom to take what I want.
In this moment, this is tempted, but then says aloud, This isn't vengeance. This is fantasy. This is nothing I could cause. Sure, I want their downfall. I want their ruin. This is nothing like anything I could accomplish. I realize that we are in a realm of dreams, but this goes far beyond that. This has no substance. It is not satisfying. Is this all you can do?
You are a weaver of stories, a teller of lies. You know the power of belief more than anyone. I can take away your memories of these times. As far as you will know, all of this will be your hand, and by your hand alone.
What becomes of the dreaming god?
They will wake and live life as intended in the realms they tried to forget. You of all people should know, a child can only dream so long. Sooner or later, we must wake.
Oh. At that last line, tears do form in their eyes. And they think of their new friends. They think of their new existence, whatever it is. They move back, they move away, not knowing physically where it is, but they just kind of, this feeling of no, this, I don't want this. And I honestly don't think it's actually yours to give.
Ever the disappointment.
Bastian, you sit in a cottage, settled comfortably at the weaver's feet. You hear her humming, the soft click of her needles as she knits the lives and fates together. It's comfortable. It's warm. The fire crackles happily, and you are far away from the terrors of the dreams and the undead. But then you hear laughing. Childish. Not mocking or cruel, but not nearly as warm as the weaver's laugh should be. You look up, and her face blurs momentarily, warping into this blue-white mist. You see another face, that of a child, as this facade slips. She coughs and puts a hand over her face, and she is once again herself. From behind you,
You have been lied to. Fooled your entire existence. Your loyalty and your faith toyed with. The Weaver is not real, and the war did not have to be. All this suffering came to be because a childish god was born and wanted to play at war using the lives of dreamers. But I can be her for you. I can be all you need.
the form of the weaver shifts, shivering into a pink cloud before solidifying again. And her smile is just as warm. She reaches one withered hand to you.
Step back. Relinquish your pact. And I will give you the life you deserved. I will repay the loyalty you so freely gave with a lifetime's worth of memories and peaceful, fulfilling service, free of the horrors unfairly inflicted upon you.
Bastion takes kind of a lean back as they're sitting on the floor, thinking everything coming together. And they look up towards what would be the Weaver. Say, maybe deep down I knew that it was an unfortunate ruse, lie. Everything my family's worked towards, every single generation, fighting these wars. I don't think it was the god, but an idea instead. An idea of feeling belief. Collectively we grew into and worshipped and nurtured and fought for and died for. Though it's not what we originally anticipated, what we wanted it to be. Maybe it was still worth a fight. Maybe not. But the woman who had fought those fights, Yadal who had believed that everything they strove for was for the Weaver, is gone. There is only Bastion. And I will be a Bastion for not just myself, but my friends. I cannot take your deal. I cannot abandon anyone any longer, no matter how sweet it may be.
It wouldn't have to feel like an abandonment.
And beside you, you see a blur of pink mist. And settled next to you suddenly is Layla, one arm tucked into yours, her cheek resting on your shoulder. She takes that little spider holy symbol and holds it up. Don't you want to be friends? We've missed you.
I've always wanted to be more than friends, Layla, and you knew that. I wanted to be you. Not a figment. I've always wanted to be you. But I know it can never be. And you just kind of slide away from Layla.
You watch
I'm
her
here.
face turn from a little bit of a frown and a pout into a sneer as the pink just mists away. Dylan, you do not lose yourself into darkness. You find yourself cocooned in pink mist. It's familiar. It feels like it's trying to be comforting. What do you do in this moment?
I think like a kid trying to touch fog, kind of, just pushing it away, seeing if I feel anything on my fingers, and I'm just looking around for any sign of someone.
You're moving through and it mists through, and you can kind of take your hand and do a swirl, and the mist ripples and swirls, and I feel like Dylan would kind of and just as you your mouth opens and mist surges into you, trying to force its way through your mouth, up your nose, surging into your lungs, and you can feel a presence scrabbling, trying to take purchase within you.
Dylan, my child, you've come so far, fought so hard to return to me. Why do you fight me now?
Does this feel like it is empowering me, or does this feel like it is, like, taking me over?
It is trying to seize your entire being by the soul. And as you're registering this, you feel a touch, a caress across your cheek. Misty and cool and barely there. But it carries a sense memory of a hand. The familiar, very warm fingertips, followed by wicked sharp claws trailing just after them.
Come with me. Join with me. You are mine. You have always been. Stop the charade and rebel no longer.
Dylan, like, sort of lashes out in a sense of, like, swiping the hand away and attempting to scoot back, and is trying to fight this feeling and just says, you know what I think? I think you're afraid. I think we were getting to you there, weren't we? And I think it's very clear to anyone that can hear that Dylan is very scared. It's like this false sense of superiority in a sense. Well, you know, I think you should be afraid.
I will not tolerate your insolence. You were created to serve. So, serve.
And with that, you all find yourselves back on the battlefield. Hardly an instant has passed, but these memories are still in your mind. Dylan, you feel this surge. And you know there's something fighting inside you.
Who's that?
Two more tentacles. Not tentacles. Two more amorphous arms of this strange pink mist, now crackling with angry red lightning, lash out again. One at... Oh, wait. Bastian, you moved back, didn't you?
Yes, I'm currently in front of the creature, just slightly to the side of Bo.
How far back?
I'm next to the creature, but I'm about 5-10 feet away from Bo.
Okay. Then yes. One each hits. Now, I assume a 10 does not hit you, Bastian.
Thankfully, no.
But does a 22 hit you, Bo? You are
You're muted.
Yes, Kay, it does hit me at 22.
I'm just asking. You're enlarged.
Hold on. I don't think my embiggening gives me more, I think my AC is improved only by 2, so no.
So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as this slashes out and hits you. And you instinctively brace. But that black sphere does not appear this time. And it's your turn.
So Bo's like really cheesed off. And am I still giant? I'm still giant. I look at it and I say, no more tricks. End it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and hit them the 3 times again. And we'll see what happens. 18?
18 hits.
Okay. Oh no, that's terrible. I don't know what's going on. If you're looking in D&D Beyond, just ignore that. Don't look on it. Okay, natural 20 on my 3rd one.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
But that's with a +6, so I super hit.
Yeah, for that, for your 3rd attack, you will roll. You can either, I don't remember if we went over this before and we decided, but you can either roll double your damage dice, or you can roll your damage regular and double it and then add your modifier. Up to you.
Oh, I like that one.
Well, the other one you'll also add your modifier, but you can either roll your dice and double it, or you can roll double dice. Your call what you want to do.
I'm gonna roll and then roll. Poor choice. That's 10 points of damage. It's not sexy
Okay.
for that last one.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry, that's 13 points of damage. I forgot my +3. And then for that next one, that's gonna be a 7 points of damage.
7. Okay.
Mhm.
And your second attack missed, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like as I'm taking the last shot, like I put everything I have behind it, to try and like really like shake this thing. And like when I'm through, like when I move through the hit, like I step up closer to it, like even closer. Just be like, fuck you, man. I'm not scared.
You get all up in its grill, and you kind of feel this static, this red lightning just kind of prickles you. You can feel the static electricity of this angry, roiling thing that wants you to back off.
No one here's a disappointment except you.
Anything else for Bo?
That's it.
At the end of your turn, the nightmare defies the dreaming god, and you watch as this roiling cloud kind of shrinks down and almost seems to curl in, and then lightning crackles and it expands suddenly, pressing against the binds. You hear Vessal cry out as she holds it, and you watch the bonds start to crack. Just a little. Bastion.
Bastion, you see them with a bit of a renewed vigor, like tears starting to kind of pour down the edges of their face. They're going to, let me know if I can do this. They're going to take out a dagger that they had took from the doll's body, chucking kind of the metal into this whirling storm. And then they're going to reach out a hand and use Shocking Grasp. I'm wondering if I can conduct the metal and get advantage on this attack roll.
I love it. Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, well, the first roll was bad. As you see, they reach out their hand. It unfortunately does not connect as I rolled 2 2s, but I think they take that and they put like they kind of caress that watch choker that's around their neck. Again, reversing time, you see their hand like pull back suddenly and then jut back in to this whirling storm, and that'll be a 16 base plus 3, so that's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Very nice. I finally did damage.
It's a good feel.
It really is. It's only 5 points of damage, but it's something. 5 points of lightning damage. I hope that affects it. Cross fingers.
Yes. It does. I thought for sure that would be half, but no.
Awesome.
It strikes through, and when your lightning comes, what is it? Pure white? Does it have the purple edge to it because of your patron? What does it look like?
I think it is that like you see the kind of red lightning, pink lightning going off inside the nightmare, and you see arcing from Bastion's hands is that purple lightning kind of intertwining and striking, causing the dagger to burst suddenly inside of the whirling storm. And I think taking that, I'm going to spend another action to use. I'm going to use Thunder Step.
Watch this lightning also, just for flavor, bounce off the blades that Phineas has inside this thing, and it throws these purple sparks, and you can feel it writhing angrily.
Perfect. And I think with that, you see all of a sudden there is a huge boom that echoes throughout this large chamber as suddenly where Bastion once was, she is no longer there, appearing on kind of the other side of Bo, still slightly to the side as they cast Thunderstep. Dylan's mom has to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
16?
Damn it. Unfortunately.
What do you need?
It needs to be a 13.
No.
Yeah, no. It's still going to be 13 points of thunder damage. That's dealt to the creature as suddenly appear.
Watch as like this force damage goes off, and you watch as the mist is like blown back slightly, and you watch it ripple up around before it starts flowing again. And you, for just a second, you see all of those whirling blades inside of it are exposed as you blow it back, and then it slowly reforms and starts writhing with pink energy again.
And then I'll spend my bonus action to take that regular shard and use it on myself. I have only regained
I was really hoping
5 hit points. So that's my turn. Bastion is suffering.
Phineas, just from far away, you're way out of its range now, but you just see that little tentacle. Just... It had one job, it failed at it, so it's just kind of like, maybe I'm on your side now, I'm just gonna sit here.
Aww. Poor thing. Let's see. It's still it's still there. It said the bones were kind of starting to get some fight
You've
in
seen
them
a
again?
crack, yeah. You've seen, they're holding, but a crack is starting to form.
Okay, then I think at this point Phineas is going to once again, let's see here, I think the positioning is right. So yeah, once again, Phineas is going to summon Thunderwave towards the nightmarish thing, and you see kind of like the spectral giant's foot stomp, and like the energy goes towards that. That is going to be a Constitution save, DC 14.
I rolled the nat 1 dice, but that's going to be a 22. I can math. Yeah, 22.
Okay, so nothing happens, but that does take half this damage. So
I did try.
I can't count on the bad damage dice the whole time. So that is going to be 5 points of thunder damage.
Okay. Again, it rocks. You see a couple of those little blades. It doesn't blow quite as far back as what Bastion did. But you put a dent, however momentarily, in it.
Okay. How is Bastion looking okay now after using?
Bastion is fairly injured, I will say. It's quite a bit of blood on them.
Okay. Yeah. It's gonna do any. Probably. Yeah. Phineas will again kind of point at Bastion and cast Healing Word, which will restore. Come on, roll high. Just roll high, just for once. 10 points of damage.
Oh,
Sorry, 10 healing. Back to Bastion. And then, that was the bonus action, I guess. As the action, going to assist Vessal in reinforcing the bond.
Okay. So at the end of your turn,
Dylan,
Yes?
it is time.
I need you to make a will save for me.
Is this Constitution or Wisdom?
I'm sorry, wisdom.
Wisdom.
Will, wisdom. Depends on which version you're playing.
That is a 14. Do I need to use Dream Shards?
Did you remember you're blessed?
No.
Bless, bless, bless.
That is a
Blessed to be
17.
stressed. Let's go. Yes.
Dylan, you hear your name and everything goes pink for a moment. And you fight it back. And you find your hand out ready to cast and you stop yourself and pull it back. And it's your turn.
Ah! And then I just hold my hand out like Iron Man style and cast Magic Missile at my mother. And
And that just hits.
yeah, that just hits. And that is
Just freaking hits. It just
gonna
freaking hits.
be 16 points of force damage. Casting that as I am like turning just to look at Vessal, I see that Phineas is already helping these 3 rays of just mist just explode from my hand, and then I grab one of those healing shards, still just yelling, still just like ah, and just slamming it over myself to heal a little bit. After those 3 bolts are out, I put my hands back together and then I shoot another firebolt out in that direction as well. And I'm not smiling anymore. I'm kind of pissed.
That is a dex save, correct?
Firebolt is a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
Then
I will put my dice away.
And that is a 17, so I'm gonna use another shard to get that to 18, and I'm gonna roll 2d10.
I love how quickly y'all figured out that AC. I really do. It's so good for me.
That is 15 points of fire damage.
It burns away this part, and you're seeing now it's taking a little bit longer before these mists start to reform. And it's shuddering against these bonds. Anything else for your turn?
No, I kind of, I'm looking towards Vessal, like, going to help, but kind of look and just give Phineas a nod, and then turn back to my mom.
With that, Vessal is focusing, and she locks eyes with you for just a moment, Phineas. Feeling so she gets to roll. She and pulls the bonds back into place. You watch them heal again, and you feel the nightmare shudder with rage, and the very ground beneath you ripples with anger. As these dark mantles start to be impacted by the nightmare's mood. And they start snapping beneath your feet. You all take 3 points of piercing damage. And it's just at that point that you, especially Bastian, but everyone else does, hears something.
So, how's it go? Oh, you're still alive. That's good. That's really good. How's it going? Hey.
Not great.
Not great.
Maybe, I don't know.
And right then, you hear Vessal. Raishion, now is not the time.
Swallow your pride. We're all trying to exist.
And you watch as this little purple misty cat pops up on his little pawsies, and you all see him. And he trots over and starts kind of doing figure eights between Vassal's feet. And he looks to you, Phineas, because he he did see you giving Vessal assistance. And he winks, says,
Don't worry. I got this. You take care of that.
Vessal looks incredibly not demon, be gone. We do not need you here.
Oh, you're so fucking high and mighty. Just do your thing. I want to exist, okay? Okay.
And the Mist Cat will now be giving Vessal advantage on her attempts to keep the nightmare bound. At this point, Phineas,
Oh,
your spell
right.
goes off.
And that way I cast it at not that one. That one. That's right. Twirling dagger pain to the tune of 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. The daggers are still spinning within, and you can still even see a little bit of that purple lightning crackling off of them as they're spinning. But now it is the nightmare's turn. What am I going to do to all of you?
You real nice? Bake cookies?
Yeah.
Bake cookie. I'm going to be right back.
Cookies sound great.
Yeah, cookies.
Thanks, Mom.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Bo, you watch as a little bit of purple mist spins before you and spins. And it's not lashing out like it has been. It just kind of spins forward and upward. It just boops your snoot. Just a little. But as it does so, does a 19 hit you?
Am I still big and hasty?
Mm-hmm.
Nay, it does not.
Well, the good news is then it boops you. And you feel cold and pain and death crawl from your nose down your spine. And you take 8 points of necrotic damage. Why is this a thing I'm doing now? Necrotic damage. As it inflict wounds, just seeps its way into your body. And it's your turn.
I don't like it. I feel like Bo tries to do like 2 more like smashes and then one final like downward blow with like all her might. Just real pissed off. Especially now that I've got this like cold and sickly snoot.
Imagine, when your nose, like your skin's gotten a little too cold and dry, and there's kind of that little dry patch. It's just terrible on your nose.
That's exactly it, and I hate it. 26 for the first.
That hits.
25 for the second.
5. I love panic.
17 for the third. With a dream shard, 18 for the third. Great. Okay. So, to roll my damages. First one is a 5.
Okay.
A 9. And an
Okay.
11 points of damage.
Are you adding
Okay.
your D4?
Bludgeoning. Am I supposed to still be adding my D4 to roll my damage?
You're enlarged, so you add a D4 to every damage
That's
roll.
fucking right. Ooh, boy.
How many
So
rounds
that's
does
an
that last?
extra.
I'm pretty sure 1 minute. I will check, actually.
Okay.
Because it's concentration, so I've been making checks when I take damage.
Yeah.
But
That's an,
Just
that's an
like
extra
Rowan,
11
you've had-
points.
An extra 11 points. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, plow in this, and your hammer is just raining down blows. And again, it's not quite as satisfying as you wish it was, but you do also see that this mist is not reforming quite as fast as it used to, as if it's just a little bit sluggish.
Yeah, Bo
Anything
has no
else?
smarmy. No, Bo has no smarmy comeback this round. Just
mad, just big mad.
I mean, she's got her whole vision like still lit up with those scenes that this thing showed her, and like she's real pissed to be like reminded of what she lost and what
Fair.
she just managed to get over.
Fair.
Come at me, monster. Done.
Bastian, before your turn,
Dylan?
make a wisdom save, please.
Ooh, that's not good.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's see. With all of my advantages here, that's not good too. I have a D8 from Phineas. No, I can't. It's a fail.
Do you have 4th level spells?
Yeah, I have one.
You are swallowed in pink mist, and you fight it every step of the way, but you feel your body moving. You don't know what you're doing until you come to and your hand is pointed at Vessal.
Yep. Do you want me to cast that?
Whatever it is, that's what the nightmare. I want y'all to know I rolled a d4 and I rolled 4 twice on the d4.
My, this is bad, you guys. My 4th level spell is Blight.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
So Vessal needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
It's not that though. What is her con save? Yeah, your girl is stacked. She got 20 con. 16 plus a 19. Or 16 plus 9, so 25.
So unfortunately, she's still gonna take half damage.
Yeah.
But instead of the 32 points of damage she was gonna take, she'll take 16.
Okay.
And this is necrotic damage.
She is raging, but rage doesn't help against that. So you see her. Smell this, and that also means I have to make a. Okay, she passes her con save to maintain the spell. And she's working and whispering, and the cat is crawling between her legs, and they're just arguing and bickering back and forth in just hushed tones. Like, I told you, I've got you need all the help you can get. I have this handled. I am the chosen. You fail every time. And then she is blasted by this dark energy, and you watch her, and she nearly drops to her knees, but muscles through it, and you hear her neck crack as she rolls it. Steadies herself and continues holding this spell. Bastian, it's your turn.
Just a note, do I still feel taken over, or has that faded
You-
for the time being?
It has. That was a legendary action.
Okay.
So
Oh.
technically, that did not take your turn. That was the boss's turn, at the very least.
Bastian kind of seeing just the effects that the nightmare's having on Dylan. First, before they kind of depart from this space, they are going to cast sword burst. As you see, it's almost kind of like those same memory shards that they had previously been throwing, but instead kind of these whirling blades begin to form. You can see just old memories beginning to play out on these iridescent shards, but they kind of coalesce and strike into, or at least attempt to strike into, the whirling nightmare. And that will be dexterity saving throw for them.
It's a 15.
Just makes it.
I would like to spend a shard to make that a 14.
I will spend another one to make it a 13, so it actually goes below, so it'll pass. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because this is the big bad boss fight. And I have 1 chaos shard. I'm pushing it up 1.
Okay. Are you all okay with me using a group shard to push it down?
Yes!
Okay, group shard, push it down. No, you're not allowed. That is no. 2, 6, 6 points of damage.
Okay.
7 points of force damage.
Force damage, okay. Things cut through. And man, blades, spinning blades and shards are just rolling through this thing inside. This one goes in, pings off, and like pushes the entire whirling blades that Phineas had placed inside back just a little bit, which is part of what causes the force damage. This goes off, and you're watching now rather wispy mist move within this binding sphere.
As they kind of slash, say, okay, that's a lot more used to that. Use a bonus action to disappear from beside the nightmare and reappear beside Dylan. And Dylan, if you're okay with it, Bastion's gonna kind of grab your face and say, I'm here for you. We're not gonna have that happen again. And I'm gonna use the help action just in case this does happen again, to try and assist with rolling advantage for any saves. And that's my turn.
You all hear Vessal. I can feel it. It's getting close. Keep it up. Phineas.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think Phineas is once again going to use their dissonant whispers at the, again, kind of every shot has not been like aimed, but it's been targeting the same rough area. So yeah, gonna try dissonant whispers again. That is a wisdom save, DC 14.
That is a 15.
Can I use my shards to affect your thingy?
We will allow it.
All right then, 2 going in.
1 countered from David.
Well, then I raise it 1 more.
And then it works.
Let me just mark that down. Thanks, David. Okay, so that's... let me roll that. Respectable. That's going to be 21 points of psychic damage. As again, the whispers are now dancing among the charged daggers. Essentially, it's just all of this is forming this awful ethereal energy mass that just keeps pounding at the nightmare. Sorry, my brain went somewhere else for a second.
As you pull, and you mentioned this before, and I would just like to know, for my mind picture, do your whispers take the form of the tattoos on Vessal, or do you make the faces of the heroes you saw walking down that hallway? Or something else.
Let's see. I think. Yeah. No. This. No. Oh gosh, this is the worst. But actually, what happens is you kind of see the spectral form, and it is just it's the little girl that we saw in the house, just going. Shh.
And as she goes, shh, you watch as like Phineas's green magic rises out and starts swirling in within the nightmare.
And let's see here. I think we're good on. We're good on keeping that. Vassal's okay. I think. Phineas will, for insult to injury, throw in an Eldritch Blast. I rolled so well the first time I did this, and so badly every other time. Yeah, no. No, that's an 8, so.
It's
Wah. And we'll take one of, Phineas will also take one of the healing shards as the last action. The regular healing shards, which, what are those?
they are 2d4 plus 2 or 4. We have posted too much.
I think
Yeah.
we only have one regular, which I use. We have the greater one.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, then,
That is a 44 plus 4.
probably. Excellent. 13. Yeesh. Okay, that's what I needed.
All right. Dylan,
Is it my turn or do I have to do a save?
it is your turn.
Great.
I love the
Um,
fear I can inflict on all of you.
I think there's like a moment, Bastion, where you see the eyes just completely glazed over with pink. And like as you're talking, as Dylan is blinking, it's just slowly fading out. And as soon as that cloud kind of fades away, it's just anger. It's just absolute anger on Dylan's face. And they just reach up, grab your wrists, slowly remove them, and then turn and like baseball pitch style hurl a 5th level fireball at Mother, using all 7 sorcery points to do so. So that is a dexterity saving throw, please.
No, I'm using this dice. I haven't
And I
used
need
this
you
dice
to fail
tonight.
it, okay? Fail it.
I shouldn't have switched dice. That's a 9.
Yes! That's great! Let me, okay, hold on. This is a lot of dice.
Oh, that is going to be a lot of dice. Panic math. Here we go.
Ha! That is 40 points of fire damage.
You watch as some of the daggers in this cloud even start to melt as you just... And it's shuddering, and you actually watch it shrink a little bit. So the bonds are not even tight around it anymore. Anything else?
Just for flavor, to just take a step towards her.
You take a step towards her. And you watch as Vessal suddenly closes her hands, and you watch as these bonds shatter. But the nightmare is small and wispy at this point, and thin. And she roars, a discordant, layered sound with innumerable voices as each tattoo shines with blue-white mist. She drops her hands, and when she brings one forward, her great axe is there, shining white and blue, with just the tiniest bit of green energy as she charges for the nightmare. She raises her weapon high, swings down with a scream, and blinding light fills your vision. Her great axe, formed with pure energy, explodes mid-swing, shattering into mist. When your vision clears, you see Vessal sprawled prone before the nightmare, her hands burned and bloodied.
You are but a servant. What are you? To a god.
And you watch the nightmare flicker. You watch it trying to coalesce power and pull back together. What do you do?
Do I feel like I could drain power from this thing?
How would Dylan do this? Were they to try?
I think, having seen how the mist moves earlier, I think Dylan would try to manipulate the mist almost like a siphon in their direction.
You start to pull on it, and you felt this thing surge inside you and try to take control of you, and you try to throw it back, except you're not a nightmare. You are not a dream. You are you. And you start using your force of self to do this. Give me a charisma check.
That's a dirty 20.
You start to pull this energy towards yourself. It is the opposite of what has been done to you this whole time, and you start to feel the power of the dream itself fill you. What do the rest of you do?
Bastion runs over, or should I say teleports to Vessal. Is Vessal breathing? Is Vessal able to stand? Or is she down?
Look down at her. She is breathing shallowly. Her eyes are open but distant. Black and red ichor runs from her tattooed face and that matte eye.
I'm gonna look down to Lancelot and say, how do I do that binding spell? How do I do the same binding spell that Vessal did?
I don't get it.
And he like puffs up, and you watch as just a little mohawk of purple mist rises off his back.
Your panic is not helping, Lancelot. Vessal had been tattooing. I'm gonna start searching Vessal if there's any like tattooing equipment or anything that she carries.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh god. It's not my strong suit.
Can I do something while Bastion is
Do it.
looking?
This is all happening all at the same moment.
Yeah, I rush to Vessal and I try to do can I do rally out of combat?
So yeah, like technically, yeah, do it.
Okay. So I'm gonna spend another superiority die and try to heal her a little bit. That's 8 points of health.
Okay. You see
I don't know if
her,
that helps.
and is that hit points, health, or is it temporary hit points?
It's temporary hit points.
Okay,
Until
that's
someone else can get in there.
We'll roll with it. She sucks in a breath, and her eyes already open, are still wide and glazed and unfocused, but she's like, get it, please, please, please. Phineas, what are you doing?
Phineas turns towards Dylan and simply yells, "What are you doing?"
Dylan seems fully like engulfed in this, but you just hear this, I'm making it weaker.
What? Actually, so Dylan is sort of absorbing. It looks like essentially Dylan is.
You're watching a thin trail of pink come off of the nightmare and into Dylan. And it's not like before when the mist would surround you. You can almost see it fighting and resisting, but Dylan's will is winning out.
Ugh.
Once again, you hear,
Kill it! Kill it! Kill it!
Then yeah, I think if Dylan's attempting to weaken it, I think that Phineas would turn and attempt to cast below that final spell slot at this level for one more Dissonant Whispers towards the mass.
Shit, target.
and that, I'm sorry, that's a wisdom?
Oh, wisdom.
It's a 16.
Oh, yeah, it's a 14 to beat. All right, hold on.
I know there are dream
Well,
shards out there.
There's like
I'm
3 in
checking-
the pool.
I'm checking the chat too because I wanted to know.
You got 2 from chat recently.
Yeah, those are the 2 that I'm gonna use to and then I guess 1 to go under, so it can't meet it. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's gonna be more Dissonant Whispers, and this is just this is just mist rising around it, and it sounds like the same voices that have cheered us on every single time we've gotten a missed cache. It's just encouragement. It's almost like yay for us and boo at it. And that's going to be 18 points of psychic damage from that.
You hear thundering, and then a shriek both in your mind and ringing in your ears as the entire black and pink mass before you shudders, red lightning crackles erratically, and the entire shape of the nightmare condenses, quivers, and then shatters. Chunks are blown every which direction. Your duck as solid yet misty shapes, crackling with red energy, shoot at you from all directions. But you hardly have time to notice this, because the dark mantles beneath your feet also cry out and begin disintegrating into mist. You all look at each other, trying to figure out, and then you're falling through the mist with a cacophony of piercing, screaming sounds from these vanishing monsters filling your ears. You look around, but your gaze finds neither Vessal nor the Mist Cat. You linger just long enough to feel your heart grow heavy in your chest, panic welling before you plunge. You fall into nothingness, free falling through clouds of mist. Screams tear from your throats as you drop. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Hell yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Chat, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the hype. Thank you for the dream shards. They were very much appreciated by all I know, and being able to gamble with people of, no, I do a 1 and they do a 4, and here we are. Also, thank you to my amazing players. This was such a fun combat. Don't forget we have a tip link if you would like to thank these incredible folks, if you are able to do so. Let's do a quick round of outros. Please tell us who you are and where we can find you. Let's start with Kerri.
Hello, I'm Kerri. I don't know if I can say anything else. Okay, I will. You can find me at Kerri Smith 2012 on Twitter and YouTube. We play a lot of games over on Crossroads Games, lots of horror, but some other fun, funny stuff too. We play a whole bunch of different systems, and we just have a good old time over there, and you should come check us out.
And you can find a couple other people here on her channel as well, so you should go do that. Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. I've been your changeling bard full of sass tonight. You can find me pretty much everywhere as Urban Bohemian. You can find me here on Thursdays. You can also hear the podcast I'm on, Cyberpunk Independence, releases on Thursdays. You can find me on Sundays on Rivals of Waterdeep. You can find me Mondays on Idle Champions Presents Hunger of the Far Realm. You can find me Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays on my own channel. And right now you can find me, not me, but you can find the character that I play, Virgil, if you play Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Virgil has just been unlocked yesterday. Hop in, play the Feast of the Moon. You can unlock Virgil for free.
Your life must be so boring. You just have nothing going on. I don't know, how you...
I'm gonna take a nap now. Bye.
Piper.
Hi everyone, I'm Piper. You can find me on my Twitch at Matihi. You can find me at Twitter at Maddie Matihi. I'm doing lots of things. I'm doing some recording stuff this weekend. There's a lot going on in general, and over on Going Crit RPG's channel next Wednesday, I'm going to be running Kids on Bikes. Also, Candace is going to be in that one as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Love a little one-shot there. Doing a bunch of other things. Check out my Twitter, however long Twitter lasts. See, hoping. And but yeah, there. Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, our resident strong girl. Candace, tell us about Bo and you.
Hi. So, Bo's forever traumatized by this event and does not relish being overly large and falling through the air. Regular large Bo falling through the air would already be a problem, but 12-foot tall Bo falling through the air, not the best. We'll see what happens. Hopefully she will smallergize on the way down. You can find me at That Candace Girl on Twitter, where I keep all my goings on for however long it lasts. You can find me at Candace the Magnificent pretty much everywhere else, including TikTok, where I have 2 videos. Thank you very much. You can find me on Mondays over at 12-Sided Stories, doing some Delta Green, as well as their upcoming podcast, Blades of Eversync. You can also find me, as Tihi said, on Going Crit RPG's channel on Wednesday of next week. You can also find me here for the finale of Godplane, How Did We Get Here So Fast, on Thursday of next week. And then on Friday, I'll be doing some Merkborg to drown my sorrows in more sorrow with the Lost Caravan. And then also you can find me and Kay at PAX next month on the 4th. For some reason, the 3rd. For some reason, it's already time. And that makes me want to barf a little bit. But that's okay. It's going to be really fun. If you're going to be at PAX, please say hi. And I promise not to barf on you. Cool.
Whew. And I'm Kay Purcell. I've been your DM. And this was a really fun fight. And fights in D&D are often not very fun. But you all made it very fun. And I thank you. Are you okay, Candace?
I forgot to tell everybody that Herb is also going to be at PAX on our panel.
I mean,
just
I
like,
think it's...
Kay
Look,
is
with
right
all
there.
I'm doing, it's kind of a given I'm going to be everywhere. I'm probably right behind you.
That would be the best surprise, can I just say? I'd be so excited. I'd be like, let me make you some pizza. It's going to be a good night. Okay, sorry.
I feel like Herb gives really great hugs. I don't know, but I feel this is.
We're about to find out.
I hope if people are comfortable with consent. Yes, I've been Kay. You can find me on Twitter for however long that lasts at KDamnFear. You can find me right here on this channel for one more session of this on Thursday. Also, on Thursday after this, Pokemon Scarlet Violet comes out, so I'm going to be doing a midnight stream. So if you would like to come join me for that after Godplane, please do. You can find myself and my incredible co-GM David, aka Full Rubber Ducky, who's hanging out in chat, doing a talk show, the Chaotic Wholesome Talk Show, right here every Tuesday. You can also find me on the Emergency Power Podcast every other Wednesday. Next episode comes out on the 23rd. Starfinder, it's fun. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of Pokemon Scarlet Violet streams this month. And then, yes, I'm going to be at PAX Unplugged with two of these amazing people, and Saucefire, and Gabe Hicks, and Holly Conrad, and I know I'm missing other people, but my brain is full of bees because, heck, that was a very complicated fight for how to take people's money and give it to charity. A wrong answers only style stream on how to do charity TTRPG streams. We hope if you're there, you'll have fun with it and come join us. Thank you again, chat, so much for hanging out, for the bits, for the cheers, for the trains, for the dream shards, for the hilarious comments. You make this so much fun. We appreciate you regardless of if you are lurking, chatting, tipping. If you are here, you are helping, and we so appreciate. Extra special thank you to our mods, Jason, David, Emily, and Kato was hanging out today too. Thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms for sponsoring this. Please do remember to use ! code in chat to get your Electrum chest and go get you some Virgil. And thank you for spending your evening with us. What's going to happen? What does all of this mean? Why are we free-falling through the dream realm? You're going to have to show up next week to find out. And I really hope we will see you there. Thank you again. We're going to go find someone to raid. You're all wonderful. Have a great night. Be kind to yourself and be excellent to others. See you soon.